Unlock the miraculous secrets of your soul. 7 prophetic dreams revealed for divine transformation. In the quaint English town of Larkhill, the air buzzed with a sacred energy that seemed almost palpable. The clock tower's bells rang out a mystical chime that spoke of hope and healing, echoing across the cobblestone square where Mary, a dedicated mother of 3, devotedly roamed. Each day was steeped in prayer, community gatherings, and the warm embrace of fellowship. Her heart, ever faithful, nested within ivy-clad walls of her beloved parish. Yet, an unsettling darkness loomed on her horizon, the frail health of her youngest child, Oliver. As the sun drifted gracefully behind the hills, clouds gathered, mirroring the storm in her heart. The doctors, with whispered concerns, offered little comfort, and fear scratched at the edges of her soul. Mary, feeling her world sway, turned to her patron saint, St. Jude, the guardian of lost causes. In the solitude of her home, she knelt with fervent desperation. "Intercede for me, dear St. Jude," she pleaded, her voice trembling with emotion. In that moment, a warm glow enveloped her, igniting hope anew, as if the divine itself whispered back through the silence. The first prophetic dream greeted her that night, a luminous garden where ethereal beings danced under a canopy of twinkling stars. Flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, and as she walked barefoot across the grass, their delicate fragrance revived long-buried faith within her. And in that pristine moment, an angel approached, bathed in golden light, and offered her wisdom that filled her heart with peace. "Your child will heal, dear Mary. Believe and seek the light within." Fernando, a fellow parishioner, intrigued by her whispers of the miraculous, approached her the next Sunday. "How can dreams hold such weight?" he ventured, skepticism clinging to his words. But Mary's heart soared. She sensed her journey had just begun, and with it came 6 more dreams, each a thread of healing weaving through her spirit. Each night, she surrendered to slumber, diving deeper into divine mysteries as she faced fears, embraced forgiveness, and even danced with joy at the newfound grace. What more do you need to believe? She could hear the angels beckoning. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As Mary began sharing her extraordinary dreams, whispers of doubt surged through her beloved parish. Friends and neighbors furrowed brows together, questioning the essence of her revelations. Yet, deep within, she felt a pulse of divine strength. In the darkest hour of despair, she received validation, a serendipitous encounter with a stranger who revealed to her life-altering truths. It was a sign that the heavens were indeed listening, yet as her child lingered between life and blessing, a miracle unfolded under the embrace of moonlight. Oliver stirred, waking with a soft chuckle, washing away the shadows. Tears streamed down Mary's cheeks as a chorus of relieved joy erupted in the community, igniting hearts that had faltered. But while the celebration enveloped her, lurking in the depths of her dreams lay unwhispered secrets, beckoning her curiosity. What other truths were yet to emerge? What unsung revelations adorned her heart? With resolve, she gazed into the eyes of her fellow believers. Hope mingled with uncertainty, igniting a flame of urgency within her. Would they embrace the divine mysteries? Or would the shadows of doubt continue to darken their spirits? The journey ahead brimmed with breathtaking potential, and as Mary opened her heart to the divine, she knew the miraculous secrets of their souls were waiting to be unveiled. As days melted into nights, the townsfolk of Larkhill brimmed with questions, curiosity dancing in their eyes as Mary continued to share the wonders of her dreams. Each morning, they gathered at the venerable parish, enchanted by her stories, yet emotions still lingered like shadows in a twilight sky. There were those who believed wholeheartedly, feeling the warmth of faith bubbling within their souls. Others stood distant, Anchored by skepticism, their hearts locked behind walls of doubt. One crisp morning, as Mary stood before the altar bathed in golden sunlight, a hush fell over the congregation. The colors of the stained glass flickered as if celebrating the miracle of Oliver. With renewed purpose, she spoke gently but firmly, "In our hearts, we hold the power to bear witness to the wonders God can perform. My dreams are but reflections of the divine whispers calling each one of us to embrace miracle." Among the crowd, Gloria, an elderly woman whose spirit had flickered dimly for years, shuffled forward. "Mary," she called, her voice like cracked porcelain, "how can we trust in these dreams when our own lives seem so mundane?" Mary's heart swelled with compassion. She could see the doubt etched deep in Gloria's weathered face. Belief can feel like a flickering candle in the wind. It takes courage to hold on to it. But every small faith-filled step we take invites divine light to guide us. We must choose to see the miracles unfolding around us, even when they are veiled in our everyday battles, she replied, her eyes glistening with hope. That night, the second dream arrived, sweeping Mary into a realm where laughter echoed across the skies, and colors danced like flames in the breeze. In this sacred space, Oliver ran, unburdened and free, their laughter intertwining with the joyous song of angels. An archangel appeared before her, radiant and nurturing, extending a hand. "The path to divine transformation is paved with trust, dear Mary. Each dream is a key unraveling the secret treasures of faith. Do not fear to share their truths." Waking with a start, she felt a fierce urgency compel her to gather the community that next evening. As she stood beneath the sprawling oak tree in the village square, the sun dipped low, painting the horizon in hues of lavender and gold. "Come, dear friends. Let us share not only my dreams but our collective hopes," she implored, her heart racing. The townsfolk began to emerge, uncertain yet intrigued. Even the skeptics found themselves drawn by the soulful energy surrounding her. Slowly, prayerful hearts began to open. "What dreams have you held close?" Mary gently prompted, inviting them to voice their aspirations and struggles. Voices began to rise, weaving together stories of hope, fear, and longing. Fernando shared his dream of serving those in need. Clara, the baker, spoke of wanting to revive the old community garden once forgotten. Each confession strengthened the sacred bond amongst them, illuminating their spirits and casting out the shadows of doubt. As the night deepened, there was laughter and tears alike, an outpouring of hearts seeking solace and connection. Mary could feel a divine presence stirring within the gathering, as if the heavens rejoiced at their unification. But just as the moment felt most poignant, a chilling wind swept through, carrying a voice soft yet insistent. "There lies a challenge ahead, a journey that will test the very essence of your faith. Are you ready to venture deeper?" Mary's heart skipped. What awaited them on this journey? Would their fragile threads of faith hold strong or unravel when faced with the trials to come? The sacred mystery loomed large, inviting them to step forth into the unknown with courage. The revelations were still entwined in the fabric of their destinies, and spirit echoed with anticipation. What did the universe have in store for them next? Would they find the strength to dive deeper into the divinity of their souls? As the chill of the night settled, Mary felt an electric energy surging through the air. The townsfolk stood before her, each face a canvas painted with wonder and uncertainty. The archangel's words echoed in her heart, urging her to guide them deeper into the mystery that lay ahead. "Friends," Mary began, her voice steady but soft, "we are gathered here not just to share dreams, but to light a flame of belief and hope. A journey is upon us, one that can change the course of our lives." The branches above rustled gently, whispering as if the wind itself carried divine encouragement. A collective shiver passed among the crowd. Doubts flickered like candles in a breeze, but Mary's presence radiated warmth, drawing their hearts closer. "We must cast away our fears and cling to our dreams," she said, her voice rising in fervor. "For within each of us lies the power to transform our lives." Fernando, emboldened by Mary's energy, stepped forward again. "But what if we stumble?" he asked, his brow furrowed with concern. "What if our faith wavers when we face trials? How can we hold on to hope?" Mary's gaze softened. It was a question that had echoed in her own heart many times. Faith is not the absence of doubt, she replied. It's the choice to believe despite it. Every time we take a step forward, we invite divine grace to guide us. Let us remember that it is in the trials we often find the fiery presence of God. A murmur of agreement swelled through the crowd. A flicker of hope ignited in the eyes of many as they contemplated her words. Gloria's heart trembled. There was a flicker of light in her soul, a sense she hadn't felt in years. "Let me share a dream," Gloria implored, stepping into the warmth of the circle. "Last night, I dreamed I was walking through a garden, vibrant and full of life. I could feel the rich earth beneath my feet and hear the laughter of children playing nearby. I picked a fruit from a tree, golden and shining, and as I took a bite, joy filled me, erasing all my doubts." Mary listened, her own heart lifting at the beauty of Gloria's vision. What a powerful gift, Gloria. It speaks of renewal. You felt the joy, the life, the hope once lost, and it is waiting for you still. Encouraged, others began to share their dreams too, their voices blending into a harmonious melody of faith. Clara spoke of her wish to breathe life into the garden, to grow bountiful fruits to share with those in need. The circle tightened, creating a warm embrace of shared visions. As hope surged, Mary felt the presence of the divine wrapping around them like a blanket. She knew the challenge that lay ahead would not be easy, but she sensed that with each dream shared, they were knitting together a tapestry of strength. "Tonight," she said earnestly, "we declare our dreams and desires into the universe. We lift each other up, believing that the seeds we plant will usher in miraculous change." With each declaration, the air grew heavier with faith, but as they clasped hands in a prayerful circle, the wind rose again, chilling the night. They shivered, feeling the weight of the unseen trials ahead. A voice whispered again, more insistent this time, "Only the brave will prevail. Will you strive together through faith?" The question hung in the air, echoing in their hearts and minds. Would they unite through the storms that loomed on the horizon? Would they awaken the miraculous power that lay dormant within? With spirits ignited and hearts hopeful, they clenched hands tighter, swallowing their fears. The journey had only just begun, yet the end felt tantalizingly close. What would test their faith next? And could they brace themselves for the waves of divinity ready to wash ashore? As the wind howled softly through the trees, a profound silence enveloped the gathering. Each person, lost in thought, felt the weight of Mary's words. It was as if time itself paused, allowing their hearts to synchronize with the pulse of something greater. A flicker of light danced in the darkness as Fernando, emboldened by the spirit surrounding them, spoke again. "Mary," he ventured, his voice trembling with anticipation, "what if we open our hearts completely? What if our dreams are meant to lead us to something unimaginable?" Mary's eyes sparkled as she met his gaze. "Then, my friend, we must be ready to receive. The path before us may twist and turn unexpectedly, but with open hearts, we can embrace whatever unfolds." At that moment, a soft glow illuminated the faces of the townsfolk, igniting their fervor. Clara exclaimed, "What if our dreams are merely reflections of the divine purpose waiting in the shadows? What if they show us a path we have yet to tread?" The crowd murmured in agreement, the air thickening with excitement. Encouraged by their growing spirit, Mary raised her hands toward the star-studded sky. "Let us ask for clarity, for guidance. Each of us has been gifted with unique dreams. They are more than mere fantasies, they are whispers from the Creator, urging us to awaken." One by one, the townsfolk began to share fleeting visions that had stirred their souls, each more vibrant than the last. Samuel spoke of a vision where he stood at the edge of the ocean. "I felt waves crashing against me, but instead of fear I found strength," he said, his voice gaining momentum. "In that moment, I understood that the tides of challenge were simply a part of my journey to something beautiful." Gasps of wonder traveled through the circle. Each story knit them closer, weaving a fabric of shared destiny. Mary felt an infusion of faith blossom in this sacred space. They were beginning to realize that their individual dreams were not just personal but interconnected, forming a divine mosaic of purpose. Then, from the shadows, a soft voice emerged. It was Gloria again, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. But what if we uncover things we fear? What if our dreams reveal our deepest struggles? Her uncertainty hung heavy in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. Mary stepped forward, drawing closer to Gloria. Dear one, facing what we fear is part of the awakening. It is the weight of our burdens that prepares us to soar. Remember, the resurrection follows crucifixion. In the heart of every struggle lies a miracle waiting to unfold. With those words, a flicker of hope blossomed in Gloria's heart. The heaviness of her doubt began to lift, replaced by a desire to confront whatever was hidden within her soul. As the night stretched on, Mary led them in a humble prayer, anchoring their intentions to the heavens. They prayed for courage to embrace their dreams, for wisdom to understand their trials, and for the strength to walk together on this divine journey. With each heartful whisper, they felt something shift in the atmosphere. A sense of divine light broke through the chill, and Mary smiled, overwhelmed by the collective faith before her. Tonight marks a turning point. As we step into the unknown, we must remember, the dreams we dare to share are the seeds from which our miracles will grow. The gathered souls stood in a sacred hush, buoyed by hope yet tinged with a palpable anticipation of what lay ahead. Now, will we dare to enter deeper waters? Mary asked softly, her eyes shining with faith. As the crowd looked at one another, they felt the answers stirring within. They were ready to embark, ready to face whatever the divine might unveil next. But what awaited them beyond the horizon? What miraculous revelations might they uncover on this sacred journey? As dawn broke, the first light gently caressed the faces of the townspeople, casting an ethereal glow over the gathering. The winds had softened, and in their quietude, a profound sense of anticipation lingered in the air. Each heart was still alight from the previous night's revelations, and whispers of hope and faith floated like golden leaves on the breeze. Mary looked upon her friends, their expressions reflecting a tapestry of eagerness and trepidation. "Can you feel the shift?" she asked, her voice imbued with warmth. The dawn is not just the beginning of a new day, it is the invitation to step further into the light of our dreams. Fernando nodded vigorously, the fervor of his spirit evident. What if we only glimpsed the tip of the iceberg? There's so much more beneath the surface. His words resonated deeply within the circle, and a ripple of agreement echoed amongst them. Clara took a deep breath and spoke up. We have the dreams as our guide. What if they could unveil hidden truths about ourselves? Each dream could be a whisper of our destined purpose, something we've yet to fully grasp. The assembled souls leaned closer, drawn to the magnetic pull of her insight. It was as if a curtain had been pulled back, revealing more layers to their journey. The sense of unity among them grew stronger, fortified by shared purpose. Then, Gloria, now emboldened, interjected. But what if we're afraid of what we might uncover? What if it challenges the very foundations of who we think we are? The question hung heavy in the air, stirring a mix of fear and curiosity. Mary sensed the vulnerability in Gloria's voice and stepped forward once again, her heart open. Beloved, our fears are just shadows of the mind, lingering where they do not belong. Remember this, the light of truth only exposes what can be healed. Each challenge, each revelation, is a stepping stone to the transformation waiting for us. The crowd absorbed her words, each person feeling a tremor of recognition. A newfound bravery began to blossom within, awakening dormant dreams. Luis, a quiet figure among them, finally found the courage to share his vision. I dreamt of a garden, he began, his voice a gentle whisper that carried through the gathering. It was wild and overgrown. But amidst the chaos, I discovered blossoms in colors beyond my wildest imagination. They were vibrant, alive, and they filled the air with an intoxicating fragrance. Gorgeous! Clara exclaimed, her eyes dancing with excitement. The overgrowth represents the weight of our past, but the blossoms? They are the potential waiting to be nurtured. Luis looked down, a shy smile blooming across his face, realizing the depth of his own epiphany. The faces surrounding him glimmered with understanding, and he felt the knot of doubt inside him loosen. As the sun continued its ascent, Mary guided everyone in a prayer, once more a sacred acknowledgement of the beauty that was unfolding. They prayed for renewed strength, for wisdom to explore what was hidden, and for the grace to trust each step of the journey ahead. In that moment of connection, the divine seemed to respond. A soft radiance enveloped them, gentle yet unmistakable. Murmurs of awe broke through the stillness, and the divine presence felt almost tangible. "Together, we shall explore the depths of our souls," Mary proclaimed, her voice soaring with certainty. "Whatever lies ahead, we will uncover it as one. Our fears will crumble, and we will emerge transformed, ready to embrace the miraculous that awaits us." With each word, the air thickened with divine energy, and they felt the rush of possibilities surge through their veins. What awaited them in the uncharted territories of their souls? What miracles would unfold when they dared to tread further into the depths of their dreams? As their prayers lifted into the morning sky, a stillness enveloped the gathering. It was as if time had paused, allowing each heart to beat in harmony with the divine rhythm. The soft golden light bathed them all, igniting a spark within each person, awakening a greater desire to understand their purpose. But before the warmth could settle, a new voice called out from the back of the crowd: "Elena." A woman whose wisdom often masked her own insecurities. What if our dreams are not just ours alone? What if they are connected, woven together like the threads of a great tapestry? Her deep eyes glimmered as she spoke, and a hush fell across the assembly. Everyone seemed to hang on her words, the air thick with possibility. Fernando leaned forward. "That resonates deeply. What if we're all part of the same greater vision? Maybe our dreams are not isolated, but threads of a divine plan stretching beyond our understanding." He gestured animatedly, igniting a spark of passion in those who listened. Mary smiled at the unfolding conversation, sensing the divine lifted her message higher. "What a profound revelation, Elena. If each dream is a piece of a much larger puzzle, might we find strength in each other? Perhaps exploring the intersections of our dreams will reveal the path that God has paved for us." A gentle breeze swept through the gathering, carrying the sense of blooming flowers and fresh soil. It was an uplifting reminder of Luis's dreamy garden. This moment felt like an invitation to share, to open their hearts and let the light in. Clara caught the breeze of inspiration too. "Imagine if we put our dreams together, how vibrant that tapestry will be. It could reveal God's unfolding plan for our community." Her enthusiasm sparked something deeper, and before long, the crowd began to share snippets of their visions. "Mine was a river," shouted Sophia, her excitement spilling over. It was clear and flowing, full of life. But at times, it felt blocked by rocks. "I felt the struggle, but also the joy of overcoming those obstructions. My dream showed me a mountain," Thomas chimed in. "It was daunting at first, but as I climbed, I felt an overwhelming sense of purpose gaining ground. At the peak, I saw endless horizons, a view that makes one believe anything is possible." With each revelation, the energy in the air shifted. The atmosphere was electrified with shared hopes, and the realization that they were not alone on this journey stirred a sweet comfort in their spirits. Each person began to see their plight as part of a larger divine architecture. Mary, feeling the rising tide of faith and unity, lifted her voice above the whispers. "Let us commit ourselves to not only honoring our individual dreams, but also embracing the dreams we share. Together, we will create a garden of miracles, a river of hope, and a mountain of resilience." As they joined hands, words of commitment echoed in the circle, a promise to nurture each other's aspirations and face the fears that lay ahead. They prayed together again, not just for strength or wisdom, but for a spirit of unity to permeate their shared journey. Just as they completed their prayer, the air shimmered with anticipation. A divine promise seemed to hover like mist above them. They could feel it, the awareness that they had only begun to scratch the surface of their collective potential. Yet, beneath this layer of hope lay the unknowing. What unforeseen challenges would rise from these dreams? What darkness might they have to face together to truly illuminate their path? In that moment, as the sun broke fully into the sky, they braced for the adventure that awaited them. A divine mystery lingered in the air. What truths would they uncover about their souls as they ventured deeper into this shared journey? As the sun reached its zenith, cascading warmth over the assembly. The atmosphere vibrated with fresh energy. The gathering felt charged, as if invisible threads connected each heart in a web of divine purpose. They looked at one another, eyes sparkling with hope, ready to dive deeper into their collective journey. With the first rays of revelation striking their spirits, Clara gently suggested, "What if we make a space for each dream to flourish? A sacred garden where we can plant our intentions and water them with faith and encouragement? This could be our first step together." The crowd murmured softly, imagining the vision. Mary nodded eagerly, yes. A space for dreaming, a nurturing ground for growth. But what if we take it further? What if this garden isn't just a metaphor, but a real place where we can gather and strengthen each other's faith? As they spoke, the sounds of nature blended with their words. Birds chirped, and the wind rustled the leaves. It felt as if creation itself was joining in their dialogue, affirming the possibility of their dreams. Sophia raised her hand, a new glimmer lighting her eyes. "I can gather seeds and soil. I know a place near the old oak tree. We can visualize our dreams taking root there." A chorus of approval rippled through the group, hearts warming at the thought of creating something tangible from their visions. But amid the excitement, a shadow of doubt crept in. Thomas hesitated, a serious look on his face. But what happens when setbacks come? What if the weeds of fear and doubt strangle our efforts? This question hung heavy in the air, and for a moment, silence enveloped them. Each person wrestled internally with fears that threatened to emerge from within. Yet, in that stillness, the collective breath of faith deepened, creating an opening for honesty. Mary spoke gently, her voice a soothing balm. "It is in our struggles that we find the truest strength. The weeds may come, but they will not prevail if we face them together. Let us vow to support each other through the storms that life may bring." Fernando clenched his fists, a fire igniting in his soul. "Yes, the journey will not be easy, but as we stand united, we will rise, transforming every challenge into a stepping stone." Renewed by the spirit of commitment, the group began to share more than visions. They opened up about their real fears. Clara shared her worry about losing her way. "I often feel like a ship in a storm, unsure of my direction," she confessed, but this honesty became the balm for others. They realized that vulnerability unites them, that sharing their struggles made the vision of their dreams even more potent. As they circled once more to pray, a wave of divine unity washed over them. Their voices melded into a harmonious song, rich with gratitude and hope. The sun poured down brightly, illuminating their faces as if heaven itself was smiling upon their plea. In that moment of sacred connection, a whisper of divine insight fluttered among them. What if they were being called to something bigger? What if these dreams were signals of their unique roles in a greater unfolding? The prayer concluded with a crescendo of affirmations, each person declaring the strength they found in community. Yet, as they moved from prayer into playful chatter and laughter, an unshakable sense of urgency swirled around them, in awareness that this was only the beginning. What would the next steps reveal? Were their dreams truly intertwined? And what formidable experiences awaited them beyond the horizon of their hopes? The answers lingered just out of reach, a divine mystery tantalizingly close. The morning light washed over the gathering like a gentle caress, the air infused with an electric buzz of anticipation and purpose. The sacred garden that was not only a dream but now a burgeoning reality loomed before them as they stood near the old oak tree. Clara, Mary, Sophia, and the others felt an invisible thread of hope binding them to something greater. With shovels and rakes in hand, they formed a circle around a patch of earth, hearts in sync as they began to prepare the soil. Each swing of the tool was not only for the earth, but a symbolic act of breaking free from doubts and fears. Thomas looked on, a renewed fire in his spirit as he shared, "With every seed we plant, we declare our faith. Each one is a promise." Sophia nodded enthusiastically, "And with every shoot that breaks through, we'll remind each other of our strength." Her voice rang out like a call to arms, igniting the hearts of the gathered friends. As they dug and turned the rich soil, laughter floated in the air, mingling with the earthy fragrance of freshly unearthed earth. Suddenly, Clara stopped, a thoughtful expression overtaking her face. What if we each wrote our dreams on paper and buried them with the seeds? It could be a sacred pact away to protect what we envision. The idea rippled through the gathering, a soft encore of agreement washed over them. They quickly scrounged for small pieces of paper, each reflecting individual hopes, desires, and fears. The energy shifted as they poured their souls onto the pages. Mary's hands trembled slightly as she wrote, her heart both clutching hope and whispering fears of failure. "I hope to find my true purpose," she sighed, tucking the paper into the soft earth. Others joined in, visions taking root in the sacred space. As the last paper was buried, a gentle breeze swept through the garden. It felt like a divine embrace, wrapping around them like a comforting quilt. In that moment, Clara felt a pull and urge to share the weight of her testimony. "You know, there was a time when I felt like I was wandering a desert of uncertainty. I couldn't see the promised land that lay ahead, until I finally trusted in God's grand design for me." Her words hung in the air, stirring something deep within each heart. Fernando stepped forward, recounting his struggles battling inner demons. "Every time I believed in the dark night, I was reminded of God's light. They were vulnerable, and in their vulnerability, they found strength. They were sharing the depths of their trials, yet had become shining beacons of resilience." A deep sense of community blossomed, unlike any they had felt before. As they planted the seeds with prayers and affirmations, a diverse tapestry of dreams began to weave itself, a beautiful array of colors binding together in faith and purpose. The garden transformed into a holy ground, pulsing with the energy of every intention sown. Yet as the sun dipped lower, casting a warm glow over the gathering, an unexpected stillness fell. A heaviness came over them, as if the very heavens were holding its breath. Just then, Mary's voice broke through the silence, trembling yet sure. "What if we have merely scratched the surface? What if our dreams are interconnected in ways we cannot yet fathom?" A sound of contemplation rippled through them. What dimensions of their dreams lay dormant, waiting to awaken? As they looked into each other's eyes, they began to perceive a deeper reality, the threads of their destinies intertwining in a mysterious divine tapestry. With hearts full of expectation, they asked, "What incredible revelations will bloom from this sacred garden? What divine synchrony awaits us along this journey?" The warmth of promise lingered in the twilight, a sacred question hanging in the air, a whisper of divine destiny yet to unfold. What awaited them in the depths of their dreams, and could everyone bear witness to a transformation they never imagined possible? The garden pulsed with a vibrant energy, each dream resting quietly beneath the earth, a promise waiting to unfurl. The sun kissed the horizon, casting a golden glow, as the group stood in the thickening twilight, their hearts buzzing with expectancy. Clara looked around, her spirit alight. What awaits us as we nurture this garden? What miracles lie just beyond our reach? Mary, filled with a sense of wonder, shot a glance at the others. What if nurturing our dreams together strengthens our connection with one another? Her voice was soft, yet it rang with a gravity that touched each of them. The thought wove through their hearts, binding them closer than ever beneath the trees. Sophia's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Every seed holds potential. Just like our dreams, they need water, sunlight, and care to thrive. What if our unity acts as that nourishment?" She smiled, a glint of divine inspiration illuminating her features. Thomas nodded solemnly as he knelt beside the patch they had worked on. "And maybe, just maybe, what we grow here can reach beyond this garden. What if it becomes a source of hope for others chasing their dreams?" His voice was filled with passion, igniting a fire in their collective spirit. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves overhead, creating a whispering symphony. Clara closed her eyes, letting the moment wash over her. As we share our dreams, we might uncover gifts from God we never knew existed. Each planting is a declaration of faith. With new fervor, they took turns voicing their hopes and fears, their words mingling with the earth. Clara spoke of her wish to embrace her true calling. Mary longed for courage in the face of doubt. Thomas desired to find a path that illuminated his journey. With each voice, they cultivated not just a garden, but a sacred space that reflected their collective aspirations. As darkness crept in, the voices became softer, voices dancing around the flicker of firelight they eventually lit. The light symbolized their new beginning, warm and inviting, a tangible reminder of their dreams brought to life. "This garden will not just be for us," Clara murmured. "It will be a beacon for anyone searching for hope." A moment of reflective silence settled over them, each person holding their own dreams close, yet feeling the collective weight of shared aspirations. In that quiet, a strong sense of divine connection enveloped them, as if the heavens were affirming their unity. "Yes, let us gather here often," Sophia suggested, excitement bubbling in her voice. "Let us tend to our dreams together, pray, and celebrate the growth. We can support each other on this journey." Everyone nodded, hearts beating in time, unified purpose now a glowing ember within. In the dawning twilight, each individual dream felt less like a solitary star, but rather a constellation, united in a magnificent dance across the night sky. Suddenly, Mary stood up. "What if we never discover the full extent of our transformational power until we take that leap of faith together? What if we step into the unknown, trusting that God's hand guides us?" With those words, a sense of wonder sparked something deep within them, igniting hope like stars appearing in the dark. What awaited them in their quest? How would their collective leap shape the world around them? They shared glances filled with both anticipation and trepidation. In their hearts, a hum of divine destiny began to resonate. The burning questions echoed faintly within them, the very questions that had brought them together. What miracles will cultivate from their gathered faith? And would they be the catalysts of a transformation far beyond their imagining? As twilight surrendered to the firmament's embrace, Mary felt a divine stillness settle among her companions. Beneath the vast constellation of stars, each soul radiated with anticipation. They had sown seeds of dreams in their sacred garden, nurtured by shared laughter and heartfelt aspirations. Yet a reminder of trials danced in the air, whispering impending challenges that would test their newfound bonds. "Tonight, we have built more than a garden," Mary began, her voice reverberating gently like a well-tuned instrument. "We have fostered a community rooted in faith, ready to weather storms together." The words hung vibrantly, igniting fervor in their spirits. Fernando stood, his heart compelled to share. "What if our dreams begin to bloom right here, unfolding just as we've nurtured one another?" His cheeks flushed with fervency as he spoke. "The strength we've found in sharing and tending to our hopes is just the beginning." A swell of murmurs rippled through their circle, spirits aligned in recognition. The warmth of a soft breeze enveloped them, swirling like heavenly whispers, wrapping around their hearts. Clara chimed in, "Each struggle is a branch that strengthens our roots. We must remember, it is through the storms that we discover resilience." It was true, each participant now recognized how their interconnected dreams were nurturing a collective resilience, ignited in faith and love. Yet, a quiet voice from within still lingered, doubts that awaited to re-emerge amidst the trials. As the night deepened, Mary felt a tug at her heart, an impetus to encourage her friends. "Let us not merely speak of dreams. Let us take steps toward them, lest we forget they beckon us forward." The congregation nodded, hearts pulsating with belief. "Let us create a plan," Sophia suggested eagerly. "We can meet weekly to focus on our dreams, share our challenges, and celebrate our victories." The group erupted in agreement, eyes wide with fervor. Each dream took shape. Together, they could weave something miraculous. Gloria, once hesitant, sparked with courage. "I'll host our gathering at my house. We can turn it into a place of prayer and storytelling." Her voice trembled slightly, but was enveloped in newfound determination. With each declaration, a mission unfolded, a divine purpose guiding them beneath the starlit horizon. They would be the architects of a blessing that stretched beyond themselves, reaching out to others walking in darkness. "Let this garden be a sanctuary not just for us," Thomas emphasized, "but for anyone searching for solace. The seeds we plant today will blossom, bringing hope to our town and beyond." Mary smiled, heart expanding within her chest. In that moment, she felt a divine presence wrap around them, a shimmering embrace calling them to action. We shall be the light that lights the way for others. We will walk this journey together, discovering the beauty of each other's dreams. Just then, a sweet, quiet glow emerged above them, illuminating their circle, a manifestation of the divine promise crystallizing in their hearts. It was as if heaven had burst forth, affirming their united commitment. This was the manifestation of their faith blossoming into something tangible. As they clasped hands, a powerful prayer surged forth. It was earnest and unyielding devotion to nurture the dreams blooming within the soil they had tended. Sweet music echoed as the town seemed to awaken, the joy of ancient voices mingling with their hopes. Tears shimmered in Mary's eyes, and warmth spread deeply through her soul as she realized that their journey was just beginning. They were equipped with faith, purpose, and the knowledge that they were not alone in this divine tapestry. Each challenge awaiting them would now be faced with collective strength, a mighty outpouring of love to combat darkness. The night unfolded around them, the cosmic silence reverberating as if in agreement. They had accepted the call to rise, embracing everything that lay ahead. What miracles awaited beyond their dreams? And could they lovingly confront any storms that sought to uproot their faith in that sacred moment? As dreams intertwined and their hearts joined in song, a glorious truth emerged. Together, they would become the embodiment of transformation. And this collective leap into the unknown was merely the beginning of a new chapter, one shimmering with the promise of divine light and overwhelming grace. Now, dear friends, I urge you, subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories that will guide you on your spiritual journey. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and let these messages of hope reach those who need them most. Comment below with your reactions and testimonies about this ending. Your words are a powerful testimony. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this manifestation. Only true servants of God understand the importance of supporting our mission through these actions.